It was a very interesting morning out here across northern Japan, specifically off the east coast of Hokkaido and northern Honshu around Aomori Prefecture. We had a magnitude 6.7 earthquake reported out here. Definitely shook things up. No damage really reported or anything like that. Japan is built for these type of events. But you may be asking, Robert, why in the world are you including this into the snow update? Because of the threat of avalanche. It's not just skiers and snowboarders that trigger these things. Already we had avalanche advisories in place by JMA just because of the heavy snow we have been seeing out here in Niseko the past 24 hours. About 20 to 30 centimeters has occurred. So you get a little bit of shaking. It causes a chance of avalanche. Now, I would not always be on guard for the threat of an earthquake. There's no way you can predict one, but you do know there are some aftershocks coming up. So if you are heading out this coming weekend across this area, just keep in mind you do have a pretty deep base there. Niseko 120 centimeters. Some of the steeper slopes, just be wary of the threat of some aftershocks out there. I don't think they're going to be strong enough to set any off, but it's always something to just have into the back of your head out here just because of that threat. And big thing, though, you just have that heavy snow. We started off pretty slow season, so there is that chance of some avalanche in a few of these locations. All right, that's enough on the earthquake off towards Hokkaido. Let's talk about Honshu this coming weekend. It actually does look like a pretty decent weekend shaping up as far as the weather is concerned. The snowfall is coming down here today in some of these areas, so it's helping to open up some of the resorts here on Thursday. Most of them are mostly open. I think Minakami, the one that's struggling the most, they're a little bit farther here towards the east, kind of lacking in snowfall. I think by Monday and Tuesday after this coming week, things are going to be changing up pretty significantly for them there. We got a southern coast low. I'm going to talk about that in the end of this update. Right now, snow depth out there, it is what it is. Zawansen up towards about 85 centimeters. And Minakami officials at 110, but I think most of the areas are a little bit lower than that. As we look over towards the west, 20 centimeters there at Nozawa. That's at the base. It's really struggling out there. The higher up you go, the more snow you get into. But most of the runs are at least open at this time. A lot of people have actually been asking, where are these 20 to 30 centimeter totals that you get day in and day out across this area? And in fact, El Nino has just been delaying it, and it's been a rough year thus far. It is coming around slowly, and I think by next week we're going to finally get a few pretty decent snowpack in there. I know I expected that this past weekend, and I do apologize for everybody that was expecting some pretty significant snowfall. It just took its time coming in. We did get a little bit out there, but a few areas, including Shigakogen where I was, it just was not up to the exact forecast. So this week, I am letting you know ahead of time it is not going to be dumping, but we are expecting more snow out here on Friday morning. Into Saturday, we'll be tapering off. High pressure is kind of ridging in from the west, so when you get that, the gradient just tapers off, and we're not looking at those strong northwesterly winds. Same thing into Sunday morning. Actually going to be some bluebird conditions out there for those of you across Hokuriku, extending off even towards Tohoku, where most of the snow has been sticking around. You've been getting some good stuff off there towards Aomori. It's going to be clear conditions on Sunday. I know a lot of people are heading back home, but Monday is a day things get interesting, and I think by next weekend, things are going to be really interesting. This weekend, it's going to be some good visibility out there, but look at this on Monday. This massive low pressure area coming in from the southwest. This storm system is what we call a southern coast low. These are the type of storms that whenever you talk about Tokyo getting heavy snowfall, this is a direction to come from. Typically, they're from the northwest. That's why the mountains get it. Big thing with this, though, it is going to create some rain with it. Lower elevations could get some precipitation in the form of the wet stuff out there, but it is also dumping snow across the mountains, and including Tokyo. I think by Monday morning, we could see a flake or two. The other big thing, though, is that once this pushes by, that warm front's gone, behind it, there's going to be a big cold surge. I like the little graphic I made. That means more snow up and down the Japanese Alps. Actually persistent next week. This is just the way the pattern. I'm not going to give you any totals of how much, but that's the way the pattern works. You get these big southern coast lows coming in that wraps around all that cold air, and it comes in strong. Actually, some areas across Tokyo, you're going to be looking at decent snow. I think the higher elevations over the coming weekend, about 10 to 20 centimeters in total. Not going to be anything fantastic, but hey guys, It's going to be a great time out there. In fact, one of the best slopes of the week, despite the fact not all the runs are open. The snow is it's not the greatest, but it's a lot better than other areas of the world. I think we're just being kind of snow snobs out here in Japan. Is Nozawa Onsen. Here's actually a photo from today. It's been coming down. Actually, Nick out there, who is at Nozawa at this time from Tokyo Snow Club, took some of these photos for me, and it's pretty decent stuff. Actually, they're prepping up for the Fire Festival. I'm not going to sit here and explain the Fire Festival, but in short, it's amazing. I'll put a link into the description down below. You can read up on it. Definitely recommend heading out there, and I hope everybody that's going out there this weekend, you're ready to have a absolutely fantastic time. As far as the forecast, Friday, passing flurries 1 to 3 centimeters, keeping it on the low side. Could see a little more than that in the higher elevations, but temperature is definitely going to be cold enough for it to snow at least. Saturday in the morning, I think it should be tapering off into the afternoon hours, but the morning actually still could see about 1 to 3 centimeters. Nothing too significant. Same thing with Sunday, bluebird conditions really most of the day. By the time everybody starts heading out, that's when things get interesting. Though Sunday night, PM snow is going to be kicking in. Look at the temperature though, -1, and then a high of only 1 on Monday. It is going to be lingering on the freezing point. So first it's going to be snow. It could change over the rain. It depends really around that freezing point. This is a really tricky one there on Monday for Nozawa. If it does stay below the freezing point though, we could be looking at about 20 to 30 centimeters, and then just the additional snowfall coming in next week. A lot going on next week. This weekend, it's going to be great weather just to enjoy yourself. Have a great time out there, guys. If you are looking for a way to have some great times in Japan, check out TokyoSnowClub.com. I'll put the link as well down there in the doobly-doo, the description down below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it anywhere else, just click the video and find it. You can type that into your browser. My goodness, can't hold your hand. All right, guys, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching, and yeah, have fun.